Ad agencies are weird. We are ostensibly communications companies. We help brands communicate their values, their product benefits, and sometimes regrettably, their take on current events in the world. We're good at this. The final product may not always land where we'd like, but we are quite skilled at uncovering insights and developing ideas that communicate the essence of a brand so well. We research, we seek to understand consumer mindsets, we focus group. We spend our spare hours obsessing over how to deliver these messages in a way that will truly be heard and believed. We care. We really, really care. So why are we so bad at communicating with each other? We make assumptions, seeing our peers as avatars for what we need done, instead of as beautifully flawed human beings working towards a shared goal. We sit in silos and judge through our tainted lenses. Account sucks. Creatives are babies. Production is out to kill our dreams. And strategy is, well, just kind of strange, no? And then we wonder why projects break down. Meetings turn into finger-pointing fests, and everyone goes home frustrated, to families that are forced to deal with the worst versions of ourselves, night after night. We suck at this. If someone from outside our industry spent 10 minutes in one of our agencies, they would be dumbfounded that folks who are so good at external communications are so inept inside their own house. This not-so-delicious irony is making us all sick. We are stressed, freaking out. We feel alone and helpless because we don't trust the person next to us or up 2 squares on the Brady Bunch Zoom screen. We're checked out, cynical, refusing to believe that things could actually be great because every time we allow those thoughts to sneak in, the self-defeating reality of our agency culture smacks us in the face. It doesn't have to be this way. We could take some of that creative energy we so freely give to our client work and turn some of it inwards. We could approach our teammates with the same kind of curiosity we give to our target audiences, really digging deep to understand what makes them tick. We could take some of our innate empathy, so vital to our creative souls, so visible in our greatest work, and use it as a salving balm for the wounds we self-inflict each day. There's a tool I use as a coach that is so eye-opening. It's called DISC. And when a team sees the results for themselves and their coworkers, they can't help but laugh because suddenly behaviors that seem so baffling become so obvious. DISC helps us see who we are at work, how we work with each other. Why some folks love to talk, and others want you to get right to the point or get the hell out. Why some people are so fascinated by data and the details, and others run away screaming when the word Excel is even mentioned. We did an assessment like this at an agency I worked at years ago, and it brought immediate clarity to a frustration I've been feeling for weeks. I like to do regular meetings with my teams, and I generally love them. It's nice to connect with people outside of the work and focus on each other as human beings. What do we care about? What excites us? What kind of support can I be providing to make my team's lives easier? These meetings would typically start with a little chit-chat. How's life? How's the puppy? Did you see the game last night? After a while, we'd wind our way into conversations that were more work-related. Goals, pain points, conflicts, all that good stuff. And this approach seemed great for everyone, except this one dude. It always seemed like he wasn't sure which of my 3 heads to focus on. The conversations were awkward, and as soon as we covered off on the most pertinent details, he had half a butt cheek off the chair, ready to bolt back to his cube. Then we took the assessment, and I had to laugh at myself. How could I not see that he was so clearly only interested in those pertinent details? The chit-chat that others seemed to appreciate as a sign of caring and warmth, he saw as unnecessary BS, a detached exec loving the sound of their own voice. Fuck. My forehead was purple from the repeated smacks I delivered after this revelation. Why didn't I realize this before? Because we're not wired to. That's why. We view others through our own filters. It's a time-saving cheat code. One that works fine in a pinch, but causes a lot of headaches if we aren't willing to dig deeper. Once I became clear on what this guy needed from me, our meetings went great. I cut to the chase. I gave him the bullet points, and I let him have half the meeting time back most weeks because we zipped through things so quickly without my incessant blabbering. We need more of this in our agencies. More curiosity, more willingness to adapt our style to meet others where they are. More openness to being wrong. We need to care about what others care about, what drives them, motivates them, makes them give a shit about the work they do. Spoiler alert, it's probably not the same thing that you care about. We often look at our colleagues like they're from another planet because they don't seem to get it. They don't see what we see. But the reality is, well, they kind of are from another planet. A planet where what matters is quite different from the one where you're from. Their planet may be convinced that there is a right way to do something, a tried and true process that's been time tested, a best practice. And following that practice is the clearest and cleanest way to accomplish things, especially big, important things. Meanwhile, back on your planet, you like to challenge everything, every practice, every belief, every expectation, knowing and so utterly convinced this is the only way that good change is on the other side. Move fast and break things. On this planet, we wear our nonconformity like a badge of honor and look askance at the stiffs who think we're crazy. Neither planet is wrong. The universe works best with all the planets doing their part. But you can imagine how awful the communication would be between them if they didn't know why those other creatures did the things they did. I've got a couple of tools I use as a coach to help us understand all the planets and their peculiarities. One of them is called YOS, the other, driving forces, and both can help us learn to talk to each other without judgment, or at least a lot less of it. Wouldn't it be nice to feel like you could actually get things done with the folks you work with, to trust them enough that you really listen to their perspective, maybe even learn from it, and make the work better in the process? Wouldn't it be nice to feel energized at the end of the day, or at least not so jacked up on cortisol that we can't even enjoy all the things we work so hard for? At this point, it may not surprise you to know I've got a program that can help with the mental wellness side of things too. It's pretty cool. It's like microdosing mindfulness. It makes all the other tools work so much better because you're showing up with a mindset that leaves you more open to the possibilities those tools can create. And we communicate a hell of a lot better when we're feeling open and empathetic versus closed off and judgy. I'll save the details on that program for another episode. But if you're curious, you can always reach out directly. I'm happy to chat anytime. Perhaps we could each take the DISC assessment beforehand, though, so we truly know where each of us is coming from. If you're into that sort of thing. Bye, everyone.